welcome, beloveds, to the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. MumbiSeraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you are moving into living life truly on your own terms, because that is the season that we are, that we are walking in. We want to thank every single person that has subscribed to both the Dr. Mumbi Show and the Dr. Mumbi Live. We appreciate love each and every one of you, and for every single person that has supported us on our PayPal and our Patreon accounts. I really appreciate love each and every one of you. Go ahead and consider joining for as little as $2 a month. Now, a very interesting story coming out of these global lists that they do, and this is extremely disturbing. I was having this discussion on my Twitter account at the end of last week, and it's talking about how every year they release they release different lists, so different Forbes magazines and all these these elitist magazines will release different reports annually, and so they just recently released the countries who own the most gold, and this publication came out 2020 World Official Gold Holdings Chart. Now, the reason this concerns us, and I know their lists are always it's always favoring the Babylon system. But the reason this should concern us is because, first of all, gold plays an important part in central banks' reserve management. And also with everything that we're seeing happening on the gold arena, we can tell that we are going to be, the money system is being collapsed, beloved, and we are going to be moving back into the gold standard. But now, the 2020 World Official Gold Charts, the top 30 countries, there was not even one African country. I know, well, there was one North African. Algeria made the list, and they were 26th actually, with 173.6 tons of gold. But how can Africa be the biggest gold producer in the world, and yet none of our countries, even Ghana, which was renamed from the Gold Coast, literally, to Ghana. I mean, people used to just, gold was just there like shells, And there's a terrible joke where the Arabs say they brought the Ghanaians, the Gold Coast nations, cowrie shells, and that was replaced with, and they took the gold. But the fact that, even among the top 10 countries, some are not even gold producing nations, and yet they have the biggest reserves. So does that mean that they're not counting the current gold reserves when we consider Tanzania is producing so much gold annually? Ghana has one of the biggest gold reserves in the world. So how is it that Africa, not even one African country, appeared on this year's top 30 list? I mean, the top 10 countries, it starts with the USA. They have the most gold allegedly, with 8,133 tons of gold bullion. That's nearly as much as the Germany, the IMF, and Italy combined. The majority of this gold is thought to be held in different depositories across the divided states, although there had been rumors that this gold was, snatched by the Rockefellers of this world, but those are stories for other days. And then second is Germany. Germany is the second largest holder of gold. It's worth about 3,300 tons. And they have it in different reserves. So they have it in the Federal Reserve of New York, they have it in the Bank of England, and they have it in the Banque de France. Then third is the IMF, then Italy, France, Russia, China, Switzerland, Japan, and India. But do you see how among the top 5, I don't even think any of those nations produce gold, and yet they have the biggest gold reserves in the entire world? I mean, Ghana didn't even make it to the bottom, bottom part of the 30s. I mean, even Poland has more gold than Ghana. How is that possible, beloveds? Now, a lot of these lists, of course, are doctored. Whoever writes a story always embellishes their people, always makes their people look good. So, of course, this is a Muzungu, this is a Muzungu publication. So, of course, it's going to embellish the Muzungus. But this should tell you, especially in this season, and that brings me to my next point, it is so crucial and critical that you start to, if if you're in a country where you can collect gold or you can hold on to gold, it's very, very important to start, buying up gold, because, guys, the economic collapse is less than 6 months away. We need to start planning, and that's why I keep saying, at the very least, become self-sufficient. But, in countries like Kenya, I went to buy gold. I was being told I have to buy from reserves in the divided kingdom. How is that even going to work? How is that even going to work? And how can we not even have gold reserves? So if you're in a country where you can collect gold, where you can have, where you can save up gold, you can buy up gold, please go ahead, because the economic collapse is less than 6 months away. Here in Kenya, I think Kenyan citizens are not allowed to keep actual gold. So we can only own it through banks. And, I was even asking a friend of mine who's a banker, and as a Kenyan, the only way I can hold on to gold is if I buy it, first of all, illegally, you know what I mean? Or if I buy from, I think, the divided kingdom, there's 1 or 2 banks where you can buy the gold that's over there, and they'll hold. How will I get it when the world collapses? I was just like, so, but one of the things I wish our governments would introduce is, as they're exporting all these diamonds and these minerals and these gold and rubies, why can't they come up with a plan? Or do they have a plan where, at least 40% of these, of these diamonds and gold, of our natural resources, are actually being diverted into our central banks? So at least we have something to fall back on when the dollar goes poof. Anyway, let me know what you think about this. Until next time, tuko pamoja.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, Africa.
Hello and welcome to Africa Watch on the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr.MumbiSeraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I pray you're well in all your ways and that you are truly living your best life. Thanks to every single person that supports us through our PayPal and our Patreon accounts. Really, really appreciate you guys. Go ahead and consider joining our Patreon family, or, sending us a love donation through our PayPal accounts. Would really, really appreciate you as we get ready to travel to West Africa to kind of close out 2019. 2019 has been such a crazy year. Such a crazy year. Now, the Russia-Africa summit, it's ended, but now is when we're kind of learning of the different agreements that were made and the different memorandums of understanding that were signed between, the 40 presidents that were there and, of course, Putin. Now, one of the biggest things that came out of the Russia-Africa conference was that 18 African countries have signed nuclear energy deals with Russia. 18. So currently, there's almost no nuclear power plant on the continent. I think there might be 1 or 2, but Russia's nuclear corporation, Rosatom, said they signed a cooperation agreement where they would basically be building, constructing the nuclear power plants for various nations, etc., etc. And they are basically on this accelerated drive for nuclear business on the continent. And I think it's very important to highlight the word business. Business. It's a business, because I don't know. People always think it's a free lunch. It's not. Now, of course, because concerns were raised over whether all these African nations can actually afford nuclear power, but I guess that's not even the issue. And, are African nations committing themselves once again to unaffordable debt at our expense? And this is the thing that gets me. These presidents are trooping around the world, signing deals for 25, 35 years, and they only have a 5-year mandate. How is that possible? Every constitution across the African continent needs to be changed to say the mandate of your presidency is 5 years, which means when those 5 years end, every contract that you signed, everything can be revisited. And if it needs to be cancelled, it can be cancelled, because our people come first. Those are the kind of clauses we need. Because once again, like all these 18 African countries, first of all, nuclear power, I'm all for it. If they can be turned into nuclear weapons, it's even better. Stories for other days, but you know what I mean? So, but this has really made the West uneasy, like the U.S. France and, the divided kingdom are super uneasy at this. They're like, what? Alexei Likhachev, he's the head of Rosatom. He was giving all kinds of speeches left, right, and center, just, salesmanship. And he said, we can break through and make a quantum leap on the continent through nuclear power. And, already the big nations that have confirmed are Egypt, Ghana, Kenya? Guys, imagine, Kenya, we're so broke. We owe the Chinese. I mean, the Chinese own our lung and the British own our liver. The former colonizer still has our brain. And now we've given our kidneys away. Literally, I mean, how is Kenya gonna do this?
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.